Hello everybody, welcome back to the Huddersfield Town preview show. We're in the home dressing rooms at the Accu Stadium with manager Lee Grant. Lee, we've had a couple of days now since that evening at Sunderland at the Stadium of Light even, not Stadium of Night. Your feelings on that evening?
Yeah, it was a great evening and a wonderful end to it, of course. The performance I enjoyed incredibly. I think the way that the gents went out and attacked the first half showed no fear, showed really good composure, and had some really excellent phases of play actually in that first period. The goal I loved, of course, the execution, the fearlessness to go and take it on, which was wonderful. But as I say, really for me, having executed the penalties and had a bit of time to digest it afterwards, it would have been such a crying shame if we hadn't have managed to get that one over the line, because the performance as a whole was really, really good and so much positives to take away from it. So really delighted for the guys that they were able to get that over the line.
It poses its own little unique challenge as well, from such a emotional high and such a focus on the achievement there, and then the draw that followed that we'll speak about in due course. To then have to turn your attention back to the league, to another big game at Barnsley at Oakwell. How do we, and yourself specifically, manage that internally to make sure that we're in the right frame of mind for the next game?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no getting away from it. The excitement is wonderful, and you have to allow the group to experience that, because that's important too. So immediately after the game, we straight away mentioned the fact that we know we've got probably all of 5 or 6 hours to enjoy this before we're into tomorrow, and straight away by Wednesday you have to start turning your head to what's coming. On Thursday we're training hard and we're getting ready for another tough opposition, as you mentioned. So by the time we have debriefed, gone through that individually and as a group, Thursday afternoon and Thursday session is fully eyes onto what's coming next. So it's not and shouldn't be difficult for us to turn our attentions, because that is the nature of our business. Mm-hmm. We win, we lose, we draw, but we move on, and we have to learn, take what we can, move on and reapply those lessons next week. And that's what we've been doing a really good job of so far in terms of post Blackpool and the disappointment, and take the learnings and move into the next game, and find a way to be better and improve. So look, that's what we have to keep doing, because again, I said it to the guys, they're probably frustrated with hearing it, but I'll always want more. So even at Sunderland away, when we win and we do so well, there's still bits in there I'm like, yeah, we can have more belief and more confidence and trust in each other. But yeah, for sure, it's heads now onto a really tough fixture coming up.
The effort levels and the way we applied ourselves against Sunderland was really high. Have all the lads come through it okay, as we were for the weekend?
Yeah, we're again really lucky. So to put that level of effort and intensity into a game is it's what we demand, and of course you know that there's always the chance that you can come a cropper when it is that high an intensity a game. But look, we've been really fortunate on that. The guys are doing everything they can post game to recover and be ready for the next sessions and the next games. So yeah, we're in a good place.
Perfect. There was a couple that you left out at midweek. The captain, Ryan Ledson, Ruben Roskin, Alfie May, and there's one I'm forgetting, Joe Lowe, of course. They're all okay as well? They were just...
Yeah, no, absolutely fine. And look, we've got a big squad and a deep squad right now, and we've got guys that have played more minutes than others, and we felt like the balance of the squad that we selected to go to Sunderland was about right, and it proved to be the case. And look, again, we're in a position now where we have to assess what's right for Barnsley and what's right for the next fixture, as we do each and every week. And yeah, again, we're fortunate enough to be able to select from everybody, so that's really positive.
That is good. I'm not going to ask you the players that we're going to take to Barnsley, but we are taking best part of 5,000 fans with us and filling out the away end. Yeah. We know how important that game is for us locally, given the geography. What's that feel like for your position as the manager of the team, and also for the lads, that they know that travelling support is going to be tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, look, we felt it on Tuesday night, and I think Barnsley away is unique in that you get a chance to really feel it because they're right behind your goal. They're there as you come out. If we're fortunate enough to have 4,500, which it sounds like we're going to, and perhaps more even by the time we get to kick-off, that is near enough the whole stand. And I'm certain they're going to make that feel like a home game for us. So look, we are ecstatic about that fact, looking forward to it. Hopefully we can go and put on a performance that really befits that, because we certainly want to do that. We know that if we can start in the right way, we can create an atmosphere that can hopefully be difficult for the home team as well.
Does that come with its own pressure, having a large away following? Does it add to, not expectation perhaps, but the desire to want to do well?
Well, I don't think we can increase our desire to want to do well, to be honest with you. And knowing the group as I do, and what it means to them right now, and where they're all at individually, and certainly where they're at collectively, I know that they're going to want to do well, and they're certainly going to want to do well for these supporters who have travelled everywhere with us so far and shown great voice. And look, as I said, we know it's going to feel unique in that it's a great atmosphere in there anyway. So yeah, let's go out and put on a strong performance and try and pay them back for that. Perfect.
Obviously, one place that supporters don't get to see unless we stick a camera in here and unrestricted is the dressing room where we're sat now. Just let us into how you deal with this environment on a match day, as much as you're willing to where you stand, speak to the players, how much you want to be in here or give the players space. What's that like for as a manager? It's different for an ex-player, I imagine.
Yeah, no, you make a good point, and you alluded to it there, and actually that is something that's on my mind quite a lot, in terms of trying to give the players some room to breathe in here a little bit. They don't need me in here nattering in their ear constantly, because I've been doing that all week. So I've been showing them in the meeting room, I've been talking to them outside on the grass, I've had the laptop out, they've been in meetings on Saturday morning. So once we get here, really for me, it's a case of we've done the work. Of course, I'm still tempted, don't get me wrong, when the team sheet comes in and I want to help somebody or give somebody a little bit more information to show them something or give them some more information. But I tend to try and leave them alone as much as I can, let them get their preparation, all of their own individual superstitions out of the way. They get their warm-up, they're back in, and of course I speak to them before they go out, and we tend to do that very briefly, because as I say, they've had a lot of information. They should be clear on their roles and their responsibilities by the time it's 2:56, 2:57 and they're heading out of this changing room. But yeah, it's a nice environment. The guys, it's their environment. They take charge of it with their music and their own atmosphere. So as much as I can, I try to leave them to it.
What's the music like in here? Any good?
Well, it's actually Joe Taylor, and he surprised me with with his eclectic choices, but I think he gets it about right most weeks.
Perfect. When I was thinking about what you were saying about the balance between giving instruction and things, this is a completely imperfect analogy, but one that people who don't play professional sports might be able to relate with. Is when you had an exam as a kid, you weren't revising on the morning. All your hard work's done before it. You maybe check the odd note.
You might not have been revising in the morning.
The amount of time it takes to do this. Is that the way you think of it as well? People shouldn't be needing to learn more on match day. It's just refining what's coming the week.
Yeah, look, we try to put in as much work as we can, and that's all of the staff, by the way. So we try to put in as much work as we can to absorb as much information as staff, so that we can then decide which information needs to be disseminated amongst the group, and be careful not to overload players. And some players will want more naturally than others, and of course it's my job as the manager to give the overview messages and to make sure that everybody's really clear on the game plan and everybody's really clear on where threats are coming from and our overall strategy. Of course, we've got 4 excellent coaches as well that are always topping that up during the week or picking people off individually throughout the course of the build up to the game to make sure that we've covered all the bases. And as I say, by the time we get to in here on a Saturday afternoon, we've already had unit meetings, team meeting, training sessions, and plenty of planning and ad hoc conversations to make sure everybody's clear. So yeah, you're right. Once we get off the bus outside the stadium, we try to give the players the room to breathe and go and execute.
Thank you for that, that's really interesting. We'll be back with Murray Wallace shortly. Welcome back to the preview show, everybody. I'm pleased to be joined by Murray Wallace. Murray, if we start with the obvious place and that performance and shift that you guys put in against Sunderland, just how are you feeling a couple of days after?
Yeah, feeling really good. Obviously the highs of that game, getting back a little bit late and stuff, a couple of days to kind of soak in and recover from that is always good. But no, the lads obviously buzzing. I think not just with the result, but the way we played. It's what we're all about, and we want to go to anywhere and play our football, and that's what we felt we'd done.
That defensive performance in particular, that the second half they stepped it up. They're a Premier League outfit. You expect them to, especially at home.
Yep.
The work that you, Jack, everybody put in as a collective, you must be really proud of that.
Yeah, and like you said, the second half, first half I thought we played really well, on top and creating some good chances. Then second half, they come out, they make a few changes, and it was a real shift for the whole team. From the top line, getting that pressure that we look for, and it was almost waves at attack at some point. But I think that's the sort of thing that we practice throughout the week, and it's obviously good to see that it's paying off. We would have loved to have won it at normal time and a clean sheet, but take it to penalties and do it that way.
Speaking of penalties, how far down the list were you? Would you stick your hand up? Or?
I was the next one. I think in the Leicester game, I think it was 6 penalty takers or something, and then for the other night we kind of had the players sorted already, and then there was a few of the defenders who were pushed back towards the end. That was one of them.
Do you fancy yourself on the spot?
I back myself. It's not something that I practice.
You're not first up.
Yeah. I don't practice it all the time being a defender. It's very rare that you get penalty shootout opportunities. So maybe it's something I'll practice.
Yeah, we'll find out against City.
Yeah.
This weekend, though, before we get ahead of ourselves, big game against Barnsley, local derby. It's not too far from Oakwell here. Thoughts about that? Is it easy for you guys to kind of get midweek out of your system and then concentrate back on the league?
Yeah, I think obviously this is where you've got to manage yourself, manage the group of you have a great performance, great result midweek, and not to get too carried away or too distracted by that. Even with the likes of the draw, we've got plenty of games in between there, and this is where you've got to manage it and focus back on the league and what we're all about. Obviously, it's a great game. Rivalry. It'll be a great atmosphere, and one we're looking forward to.
You mentioned in the press conference the last time you were at Oakwell there's a last minute winner involved.
Yeah. I think it finished 1-0, and maybe 90th minute or something, which was nice. So hopefully get some more of that.
Perfect. Just for you as well, the second time at the club, obviously it's something we touched on when you re-signed in the summer. It's not quite long ago to be playing in match winner gear, but it looks good on you now. What's it like being back? What's the feeling like? What's the mood around the place?
It's really positive, and I think there's obviously been quite a big change in squad and personnel, but the players we brought in, we've had a good pre-season together. We've all gelled really well, and we've obviously started the season well. Pre-season was going really well, and it's all positive at the minute.
Perfect. So the last thing I want to ask you, just because we're in the dressing room, this is your guys' as little sanctuary on the match day. Any superstitions, any routines you have? Is there a seat in particular you favour? Obviously it's changed a bit since the last time you were here as well. Just let us into your world on a match day a little bit.
I'm not a massive one for superstition or anything like that. I do, tend to have a kind of routine, but that's just, over the years what you feel you need to get yourself ready for the game. We'll come in here, have a little meeting, chat through with the gaffer, and then we'll all just kind of get ourselves ready and do a few bits of activation, stuff like that, and get our heads on the game.
Is there anyone in particular you tend to sit around or sit with, or depends on the team?
Yeah, it depends on the team. Sometimes we can be set out just in numbers, so next to 2 and 4, or it can just be sporadic. There's no real system to it, which is fine.
Perfect. It's come up before on the previous show, which is why I wanted to ask you about it. Is the little car school that you guys have got going on a morning and afternoon after training? The guys are waiting for you now to be done with us. It sounds like a really nice thing. It sounds like a nice little bonding thing that you guys have got going on. There's complaints about the size of your vehicle, but
yeah, when you said little car school there, I think you were referring to my car. I'm definitely letting the lads down in that sense. We're all a bit crammed in my 1 Series, but no, it's fine. It's good. It's a good laugh, when obviously it breaks up the journey a bit. But in the morning, it's good to have a little chat and get to know your teammates a bit better, which is brilliant. We've bonded really well.
It's probably helped you guys settle back in, hasn't it, and coming in and being a newer group, just to have that familiarity.
Exactly, and when you spend an hour or so in the morning just in the car chatting away, and then on the way back and the time at the training ground, probably see them more than my family, but no, that obviously helps to get those relationships.
Perfect. We won't keep you too long if they're waiting, but
fine.
Thank you very much everybody for watching. We'll speak to you again soon next week.